So let's start with The Guardian. The autumn statement is out, and it's an absolute Jeremy Hunt of a budget, Leo.
I'm doing the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail. Are we doing Josh?
I'll do it.
Let's start with Josh with The Guardian for a bit of fun.
Fine. Well, first of all, I mean, the big story for The Guardian, if you see there, right at the bottom, the number 2 hit singles ranked. But if you look a little bit above, it goes from bad to worse. And this is essentially the things they're focusing on. Households facing the biggest fall in living standards since records began. Chancellor has failed the most vulnerable people in society. And an interesting angle here where the Tory autumn statement has set a trap for Labour. And the gist of it is that by basically making the country so rubbish that if and when Labour comes into power in 2 years, they're going to have a big old mess to clear up and won't be able to do it. That's the idea. But yes, we've got 25 billion of backdated tax. We've got fresh austerity. So basically, taxes have gone up and money for services has essentially gone down.
Yeah, it's a complete nightmare, this budget, isn't it? I mean, Hunt talked about stability, growth and public services, but I was struggling to find the growth part in it. I saw a lot of stability. And is stability even good? I mean, like, I remember being at Glastonbury back in the 90s. There was a lot of, like, thick, heavy mud, and you could barely get your foot out of it. I was quite stable, but it wasn't necessarily good. I mean, how much stability is too much stability? When does it become stagnation?
Well, yeah, exactly, and this is what Truss wants. By the way, is anybody missing Truss now? I mean, she had this sort of prosperity, growth, low tax budget. There was all right. People didn't seem to like it, or the bond market's a very thin sliver of the world didn't seem to like it. But I like the idea of not paying as much tax. This, for all that The Guardian says, this is terrible. This is austerity. This is Tory cuts. So it's absolutely not. It's incredible largesse from the taxpayer. Just being lavished on the NHS is getting lots of new spending. Pensioners getting loads of money. I mean, obviously they vote Tory, so they're not gonna go wanting. But also welfare, a lot of money to welfare and defence, and also 5 billion more for health and social services, and 3 billion more for schools. So the idea that this is, some sort of austere budget, which is what left-wing people seem to be saying on Twitter, is an absolute nonsense. It is weird that there's a delay, a 2-year delay. They're saying, this is a great budget, but Starmer can implement it. Well, that's a weird thing to do. If it's such a great idea, if we need to, cut spending and raise taxes and stuff, why not do it next week?
Well, that's the trap that they're setting for the future Labour government. But,
it'd be nice if Starmer came in and scrapped it and was like, listen, we're going to have tax cuts.
We're going back to Truss.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do the Mail, because we're going to have to bring this story across so many papers. They've all got the same story, obviously, and they've gone with Tories stoke the strivers. I mean, what about this? I mean, there's this fiscal drag thing, isn't there, as well, which I totally understand and have been learning. I mean, where you keep the threshold the same, but over a number of years, more people enter it, so they're taxed over a number of years. It's stealth tax stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of stealth tax. It's like, we're all going to find out. The media's been talking about them all day. Why bother with the stealth part?
But it's a stealth tax in that, as inflation reduces the value of money, and your wages increase in line with that, you get dragged into higher tax brackets without the tax brackets being brought down. But they are actually being brought down as well. So there's a stealth tax and there's an actual real obvious tax that everybody can see on a big signpost. So the top rate, the 45p of income tax, has been brought down from £150,000 to £125,000.
Just missed me.
But yeah, the Daily Mail, it's interesting how this budget seems to be a Rorschach test that anybody can see whatever they want in, because the Daily Mail is saying, Tories soak the strivers. So for them, it's not some sort of austerity budget. For them, it's very much we're taxing the working people. And it is. I mean, we're going to have the highest taxes since the Second World War.
Yeah, 1948.
I mean, come on. Does that not just say something? Maybe we're paying a bit too much tax. Maybe we can get rid of some of the stuff in the public sector. Maybe equality, diversity, and inclusion. Maybe the Arts Council. Maybe we could scrap the BBC. I mean, who needs to... I know it doesn't come out of taxpayers' money, but it's still an unnecessary household expense.
Well, it's very much what Sarah Vine's saying on the front page. There was me thinking we'd voted in the Conservatives. I mean, it's just a sort of green socialist party now, isn't it, Josh? You're not gone to that one.
I think they've got a little bit of a way to go. Sarah Vine's unmissable verdict. Yeah, but then they just put it in the front. I mean, there's also other stuff that we need to focus on. First of all, looking at, there he is, Hunt, on the front there. He's walking an animal. We don't know if it's a dog or a cat.
Could be the Somerset Gimp.
Yeah, it could be the Somerset. He's wearing the clothes for it.
He's one of these guys, he gets up very early. I don't want to hold this against him. He gets up early, he jogs. He's got the mad psycho eyes.
How can I really destroy this country from 5 in the morning? So I like also middle class plundered to fund the welfare and the pensions, because, of course, middle class don't get pensions or anything like that.
Don't get welfare.
Well,
don't get anything. If you're middle class, oh my God, can't even get a hotel on the south coast.
Bad things happen. The point is, it's there to protect you when you.
I think
there's
a certain amount of squeezing you can do in the middle class, and then finally it's going to be too much.
Also, then you don't get a middle class anymore.
Yeah,
which is where we're obviously seem to be going. But yeah, this is just, it's not good. I mean, we've got there were 250,000 people who were paying the top rate of tax, and now that's gone up to more than 1 million people who are paying that top rate.
Yeah,
there's a lot of money there that is sort of, like you say, being squeezed and taken out of various different parts of the economy and the voters as well. So we'll see.
My wallet.
Let's move on to the Financial Times with the exact same story again. Hunt paves way for years of pain. I mean, talking about the years of pain, how much is this a result of what we've been through? I mean, I would say a lot of it's to do with lockdown. I mean, I put out a little sort of cheeky tweet today saying that there should be a low tax bracket for those of us who can prove we were consistently against lockdown. Last I checked, that had 1,400 likes. People were going, yeah, absolutely, because we've done all this stuff we can't pay for. So now, of course, it's going to be years of pain.
Yeah, absolutely. And quantitative easing as well, which started before pandemic. It was accelerated by the pandemic. But yeah, we've had over a decade of the government just printing money and kicking the can down the road, and finally it's all come
It's
tumbling
really interesting.
down.
You guys you're talking about COVID. And you're talking about the other stuff. But there's something you're failing to mention that might be having an impact on our country, that they have said that actually we would be in a much better... Do you remember what it is?
Is it the globalist?
Is it globalist? Similar.
It's going to be Brexit, isn't it? That's what you mean.
Brexit! Yeah, because
is Brexit affecting every country in the world? Every country in the world.
Okay, well, let's have a little look here, shall we? In sharp contrast to all the other G7 economies, which already regained the ground lost during COVID, we still haven't even got back to our pre-pandemic limit. So all the other countries are doing better than us. What's the big difference? Brexit.
Do you know what, Josh? I was out of the country during the Brexit vote, so I'll be fine. If you want a special Ramona tax break, I'd actually be up for that, as long as I got my special anti-lockdown tax break.
Let's take it. And what's his tax break then?
Well, I voted Remain.
Miami Vice.
I voted Remain.
He gets both.
Now I like Brexit because it annoys the right people.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth it. It's worth going through economic pain to annoy those people.
You're just homeless on the street going, Josh is so angry.
It's not that I'm angry. I'm just frustrated. It's just frustrating, that's all. Guess what? They said that this stuff would happen, and now it's happening. So...
Okay.
And also a Tory government, of course, but whatever.
But I don't think it's been as bad as everybody foretold Brexit was going to be. And
I would agree with that, the whole fear thing.
We're reforming all the economic alliances with the rest.
And we'll see a benefit in 30 years, which is going to be great.